Have you ever heard of the Fabian Society? It's a British socialist organisation that's been around since the late 1800s, and its influence on modern politics might surprise you. Today, we're going to take a closer look at this group, its historical ideas, and its connections to contemporary political figures. Let's start at the beginning. The Fabian Society was founded in London in 1884. Its name comes from the Roman general Quintus Fabius Maximus Verrucosus, who was known for his strategy of avoiding decisive battles in favour of a slow, wearing-down approach. This tells you a lot about the Fabians' core philosophy. Achieving socialist goals, not through sudden revolution, but through gradual, incremental change from within the existing system. Think of it as a slow march through the institutions, government, education, law, to transform society over time. One of the most famous early members was the playwright George Bernard Shaw. Shaw was a brilliant writer and a towering intellectual figure of his time, but he also held some very controversial views. He was a proponent of eugenics, a discredited set of beliefs about improving the human population through controlled breeding. Shaw argued that society needed to breed better people and that some individuals were simply not fit to contribute. This line of thinking informed his ideas on poverty. He didn't just want to alleviate poverty. He believed in eliminating what he called the unemployable and the undeserving poor. In some of his writings and speeches, he controversially suggested that individuals who couldn't justify their existence or contribute to society should, in his words, be gently removed. It's a shocking idea, and it highlights a darker, more authoritarian undercurrent in some early Fabian thought. The focus was on the collective good of the state, sometimes at the expense of individual liberty and even life. Shaw wasn't alone in these kinds of views. Other influential Fabians, like the writers H.G. Wells and Sidney and Beatrice Webb, also explored ideas that today we would find deeply troubling. They were fascinated with social engineering and the idea of a planned society run by an elite group of experts. For some of them, this included ideas about population control. The concern was that an unchecked population, particularly among the lower classes, would drain resources and hinder social progress. So they discussed ways the state could manage population levels. These ideas, which some critics label as early depopulation theories, stemmed from their vision of a scientifically managed, efficient socialist state. Now, how does this all connect to Marxism? The Fabians were socialists, but they were distinct from the revolutionary Marxists of their time. While Marx called for a workers' revolution to overthrow the capitalist system in one fell swoop, the Fabians, as we've said, advocated for gradualism. They believed capitalism could be slowly transformed into socialism through democratic means, passing laws, winning elections, and influencing public policy. Their symbol, a wolf in sheep's clothing, was originally used by their critics to suggest a hidden, predatory agenda. But some Fabians actually embraced it, seeing themselves as patiently and cleverly working from within. So, while they shared the ultimate goal of a classless, socialist society with Marxists, their methods were fundamentally different. They were reformers, not revolutionaries. So, is the Fabian Society just a relic of history? Far from it. The society was instrumental in founding the British Labour Party in 1900. It served as the party's primary intellectual engine for decades, drafting policies and repealing elements of the Constitution, shaping its ideological direction. The relationship between the Fabians and the Labour Party has remained strong throughout the years. Fast forward to modern times, and the Fabian influence is still very present. For example, former Prime Minister Tony Blair was a member of the Fabian Society. His New Labour project in the 1990s, which aimed to modernise the party and make it more electable, can be seen as a modern expression of Fabian gradualism, working within the market system to achieve social democratic goals rather than trying to abolish it outright. And it doesn't stop there. The current leader of the Labour Party, Keir Starmer, is a Fabian. The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, is a Fabian. In fact, it's reported that well over 100 current Labour members of Parliament are members of the Fabian Society. Today, the Society functions as a prominent left-leaning think tank. It publishes research, holds conferences, and develops policy proposals on everything from the economy and healthcare to environmental issues. Of course, the modern Fabian society is very different from its early 20th century counterpart. The controversial eugenicist ideas of figures like Shaw have long been rejected and are no longer part of their platform. Today's Fabians operate within the framework of modern liberal democracy and human rights. They focus on practical, evidence-based policy solutions aimed at reducing inequality and strengthening public services. Their work continues to heavily influence the direction of the Labour Party and the broader political conversation in the UK. So, from Shaw's radical and unsettling proposals to the policy papers influencing today's political leaders, the Fabian society has had a long and complex journey. It's a story of how a small group of intellectuals set out to reshape a nation, not with barricades and battles, but with pamphlets, policies, and patience. Their legacy is woven into the fabric of British politics, demonstrating the profound and lasting power of ideas. Whether you see them as pragmatic reformers or something else, their slow march has undeniably left a deep footprint on history, one that continues to extend into our present day. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the ideas and groups that shape our world. See you next time.